Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is doing well. Got a story that I want to share with you from Forbes, and it is about tariffs and how the tariffs could harm the U.S. auto industry, causing it to fail. So, again, I'm going to say that everything that Trump is doing and his tech kings that are helping him, along with the Heritage Foundation, are meant to destroy the economy so that they can get on with their globalist agenda. It's just nothing more than simply put the Great Reset. So, this is something that if you know people who work in the auto industry, you should be trying to give them a heads up so that they can prepare. Um, if these tariffs go into effect, it is going to upend a lot of industries in America. And, you know, the rich people will always sell you, oh, it's good for us nationally. That's going to make us more competitive, yada, yada, yada. As one of the guys that I watch from the Middle East, he's basically said America has become a regional power. We're no longer able to be a international superpower or the richest. We're not the richest nation in the world anymore because we're in debt. And so they got to start over. We can't pay our bills. We done schemed and scammed and done everything. So, they just got to keep creating new ways to try to generate revenue because they have squeezed us to death. They can't tax us anymore. We can't afford to pay what we what they want us to pay, and they keep allowing the rich people to get tax breaks. So the stupid people, the exceptionally ignorant people in America keep thinking that trickle down economy is working and it will work. It has never worked. And it took a long time for us to get to this point, but finally we're here and they're still thinking that rich folks are going to create jobs and make money for the economy. It's not working like that. The rich people get tax cuts. Then when they save money, they pay the shareholders. They don't give the money to the employees. And then they don't want to pay taxes for local communities that they're in. So that means your car taxes go up. Your property taxes go up. If you have a business, your business taxes go up. It is like insane how ignorant folks are, and they are still singing the same old tune as the ship goes down. uh I mean, it's something wrong with the people in this country for sure. Fortunately, I see the people in Europe are getting the wake-up call that their own people have done them in. America has not come to that conclusion yet. It is going to be ugly watching this place fall. Not because of, you know, how it's going to impact, well, how it will look on the global stage, but it's going to be ugly because of how it is going to harm us and so many poor, ignorant people who didn't realize, um, the political ideologies that they believed in and supported for so long have been working against them. I'm glad black people have finally started waking up to the fact that Democratic Party don't do nothing for nobody and that the Republicans ain't going to do nothing for nobody either. Uh, we've finally gotten past this lesser of the two evils. Evil is evil. Evil ain't never finna change. It ain't finna help you. So, our people just are waking up. But white people, oh my God. Just watching them in the street talking about they getting ready to take to the streets. What you gonna take to the streets for? If marching ain't helped us, ain't gonna help y'all either, white people. It's not gonna help y'all. Y'all people don't care. They don't care. They don't care. So, as far as I'm concerned, we just need to watch out for stuff like this, these stories, because for me it's just a prelude. We can prepare. They're telling us that the tariffs and the policy repeals could force the US auto industry to fail. Then people who work in these companies where they have anything to do with the auto industry, you should be prepared for job loss. You should be prepared, especially for these foreign automakers like BMW, Hyundai, all these different automakers who are going to have to pay these tariffs. They will close their doors in one day, fly their people home. They'll tell their people, hey, y'all need to start packing up and getting out of here because we get ready to close down. Americans are going to be the ones stuck. We're going to be the ones that are unemployed and not well because the rest of the world has aligned together to go against us. So that is what we need to get clear. We don't have anything else to fall upon. So if you got any other skills you can work on and hustle, you better be trying to brush them up because it's getting ready to get rough around here. All right, this story came out on February 23rd, 2025. So it says, during the Great Depression's darkest days, President Hoover passed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, intended to boost America's economy. But the result was higher prices on more than 20,000 imported goods, which significantly worsened the country's economic woes. History is going to repeat itself, just like I've been telling y'all. Now, 95 years later, new tariffs coupled with policy repeals proposed by the Trump administration could similarly slam one of America's biggest economic sectors, the auto industry. Major automakers like Ford, GM, and Stellantis will face a crossroads if new tariffs are placed upon our key trade partners, especially if those tariffs are paired with repealing policies that support this core American industry. China invested heavily in an automotive sector to meet 21st century demands and is rapidly overtaking the U.S. as the world's largest auto producer and exporter, pushing Americans out of major markets where they've been leading for years. While China supported its auto industry growth, including plug-in hybrid and battery electric cars, U.S. automakers spent years deferring needed investment in emerging technologies. Coupled with federal policy that has only recently failed to stimulate the sufficient research and development, America's auto industry is in a precarious position. I don't necessarily believe that. I just believe that China has been chosen to be the face of the Great Reset in the New World Order. And so they want you to use all these electric things and not really telling you that they have to go get resources from where? Africa. From where? Wherever people are, that's where these resources are for these batteries. So it's just very interesting how these articles have these slants and don't really talk about what's really happening. So it says, what it's getting instead is policy that sets it up to fail and hands global auto dominance to China, which is the goal anyway. The rise of China's auto industry. China has quickly become the world's leading passenger car manufacturer, producing more than 26 million of the 68 million passenger cars manufactured in 2023, up from about 2 million cars 20 years ago. Increased domestic vehicle manufacturing met much of China's vehicle demand growth, reducing automakers' share in the U.S. automakers' share in the auto market, with no indication this trend will change. So we are declining in every way possible, and regardless of whether it's or not, the decline is real. In Europe, a major market for U.S. automakers, Chinese imports surpassed Japan, South Korea, and the U.S. in 2022. While European imports across the board generally decline in 2024, China remains well ahead of America. This trend is apparent in other prominent economies across Southeast Asia, where China is eating into Japan's share of those markets, and growth has been especially strong in Brazil and Turkey. So, like I keep telling y'all, the world is moving on past America and past America. And we just need to understand what's happening. The decline of the empire is evident everywhere. This hits all U.S. automakers. This all hits as U.S. automakers face enormous uncertainty. The Trump administration's enacted and proposed tariffs, especially those targeting key trade partners Canada and Mexico, will significantly raise costs to produce vehicles in the U.S. and further threaten the viability of major U.S. automakers. Well, if you do that, then guess what? You have to shift to Biden's plan, which was in the infrastructure bill, to make these electric cars by beginning in 2026. No cars will be made with gas engines. Those cars will have the kill switches in them that can be controlled by satellite. So everything is lining up. It is not necessarily, that the tariffs are going to do this and it's kind of accidental. A lot of this stuff is intentional. And if you read The Great Reset, like they're telling you everything that they're doing, they're not hiding nothing. There's no such thing as no Illuminati or no secret groups. These people out in the open, you looking at them. They're telling you what they're doing and they're showing you. So you should be preparing for rough times and to be without. Steel and aluminum tariffs on Canada and Mexico might help U.S. steel and aluminum producers, but tariffs raise those commodity prices for every other business and factory that require them to manufacture goods. For example, 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum from Mexico and Canada could raise vehicle prices for consumers 1 to 4%, increasing prices up to $3,000 per vehicle. Well, if we ain't gonna have no jobs, we ain't gonna be able to afford that anyway. So that's the goal. Auto manufacturing is already a business on thin margins, and tariffs would simultaneously cost for consumers while kneecapping U.S. automakers' competitiveness, especially in markets where they are already slipping by making their vehicles more expensive to produce. Ford CEO Jim Farley proclaimed the proposed tariffs, quote, would blow a hole in the U.S. industry that we have never seen. That kind of a size of a tariff would be devastating. So the fact that Donald Trump proposed these even before he got in the office, as soon as he got in the office, he enacted some of them, and then some of them are like staggered. Keep in mind that that infrastructure bill that Biden passed in 2020, 2021, it noted that in 2026 that all the cars that were to be built in this country would be electric. Now, I read someplace that has been put on pause by this administration. But make no mistake, keep an eye on it, because I don't think that the destruction of the auto industry is by accident. I think it's intentional, and it's gonna allude to us having to go to this electric car route because we want to always compete with China. So if you just look at all the pieces that are coming together with the globalism and the different agendas and the multipolar environment that has been created, it's not far fetched that a lot of these industries are going to be torn down intentionally because they got to be reset. So you got to go into the fourth industrial revolution, which is going to be tech driven. It's going to be digital. So anyway, I'm not going to read this entire story, but I will put a link to it in the description. But I do want to share with you that there is a strong possibility that we could be seeing layoffs and industries go away in their entirety, especially foreign automakers, because they're going to pack up and leave. Everybody is positioning themselves to do without America because America probably not going to be here. Just be honest with you. If it is, it's going to be so desolate and sparse and just it's not going to be functional. And the other thing is that the people are so, again, exceptionally ignorant that it's going to be very hard to change the minds of a lot of people. It is going to take crisis and despair to make people see that the way that this country has been run and the West has been run in general have not been helpful to its citizenry. And the leaders have betrayed the people, are betraying the people, and the people have betrayed themselves by relying on these people instead of using their own critical thinking skills and common sense. But anyway, just watch out because the auto industry, if these tariffs go into effect, it is going to be devastating, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. We have two companies here, well, one company, but two plants here that do work for the auto industry, and it would be devastating for our community. These plants have been here for decades. Old textile mills that make cloth for cars, all sorts of cars all over the world. And so, if that happens, that would be devastating to our community. A couple thousand people may lose their jobs. So, and where I live, there are a lot of African American people who work at these plants. So, wherever you see jobs like this, with the possibility of those jobs going away, think Israelites, because a lot of our people work in manufacturing. Um, so we can't afford to sleep on any of these stories. We just need to be prepared. We need to be talking to our family members, and we need to be teaching them how to prepare. If they have resources, if they think they're gonna be retiring, y'all need to be telling them to take their money and do stuff that they need to do to position themselves to weather the storm, because the storm is coming, and seems like everybody knows except for black people and stupid people. But we got to do a better job of trying to connect biblical prophecy and this great reset stuff with real-time activities. So if you can share with them about what's coming, it would be very helpful so that they can prepare themselves. I don't want anybody, especially our people who have worked hard and saved, to be robbed and deprived of the opportunity to position themselves to kind of weather what's coming and to transition to something else if that's possible, if there's any place for us to even work by the time it's all said and done. So anyway, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, on Instagram, and on Facebook. The links are in the description. If you'd like to support the channel financially, my links to Coffee and Venmo are in the description at the very bottom. Your contributions will be greatly appreciated, as this channel is not monetized and it won't be monetized because I don't want to be controlled about what I can and cannot talk about. Lastly, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep the Sabbath. Try to wake your people up because time is running out and we do not have time to play around. These people are coming in and destroying everything in the name of Christianity, in the name of getting back to God, but we don't know who their God is. And uh we talking about Constantine Christianity. So, when you talk about Christian nationalism, then what you're talking about. These people are, this is a weird time, a lot of deception, a lot of delusions. People are just not aware of what's happening. They're too trusting, not discerning enough, and lost in the sauce. But everybody about to get a wake-up call. Unfortunately, I don't know when our people are going to wake up, but once they do, they're going to be angry because they're going to see that they have been deceived. So just stay out of the way and keep prepping, y'all. All right, this is Marla K. Love y'all, and I'm out.